In today's episode, we're going to look at special teams. There are three phases in a football game. Everybody knows there's offense, there's defense, then there's special teams. A lot of people sully and denigrate special teams, but those who are smart and knows the game know that special team is very valuable, and I want to be able to shed light on what Urban Meyer, his philosophy, his thought track, because I hear a lot of people saying, well, it will not translate to the National Football League, and the guy, he always had talent. However, you don't get to where he's at by mistake. And I will say this naturally, just saying, the guy knows football. But let's tune into his analysis and his thoughts and his mindset as it relates to special teams. Let's go. Let's roll with it.
I've never heard a head coach say anything but how important special teams are. So saying it is one thing. How do you show your team that it's important?
Well, the way we did it, the way they're still doing it at Ohio State, is we had a rule that before you could play an offensive or defensive snap, you had to start on two special teams. And that goes back to Zeke Elliott, that goes back to Mike Thomas, Bosa's. You have to contribute on special teams. You're not going to play.
All right, so what he's talking about is special team that is so valuable, that is important for everybody, from the water boy all the way to the main star. They must know how to play on special team if they want to be a starter. So I like to hear that, because there's nobody that can walk in there and say, well, I'm privileged in a sense. Everybody got to earn their own grain of salt, and I love every piece of it. Let's go.
The game's close.
Absolutely.
This is a close game. They're backed up. Okay, let's take a look here. So Indiana's, they got a left-footed punter, which they're surprised are punting to our right. But you can see the scheme is set up here. It's man protection, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 will block 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The center is free releasing. Ohio State does a great job scheming. This guy's going to come down to force number 47 to zone the A gap. They're going to force the tackle to zone to him. Now, they understand that this guy's free. Look at Indiana understands that he's way off center.
Right.
So he's going to try to gain some time with direction and time. It's normally about 2 seconds to snap the ball and punt the ball. We call it operation time. When the ball moves to the ball hits the foot, it takes about 2 seconds. They're banking that this guy's going to not take a direct angle and bubble. So the key is, we say, run through the smoke. He has to understand he's going to zone down. If he takes it a bubble at all, this is the science of the game that I love so much, and I'm sure you do too, is that if he bubbles at all, or he's got the wrong stance, a false step, he won't get there. He's in a perfect sprinter stance. His inside foot is back. This is perfect. He's going to zone down. He's anticipating he's going to take a direct angle and take it right off his foot.
That's mean bend. He's going to bend right on in there. Look, bend right in there.
You gain an extra half yard. That's how close this is. So here, you say the game's won or lost by inches. Here's inches.
And it's blocked.
Blocked.
Safety for Ohio State. Olave got it again.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. Everybody should know at this point of time that football is a game of inches. And if you're not game planning to win on special teams, man, you're not putting your best foot forward. Every inch count in the National Football League. And I believe this level of coaching, this level of intel, this level of knowledge is not being permeated throughout the Dallas Cowboys locker room or throughout the Dallas Cowboys organization. Now, I could be 1,000,000% wrong. However, truth is that we don't see this level of thinking as it relates to the Dallas Cowboys. Call me what you want to, but I can tell you, in 10 years of seeing this particular process or beyond, we have yet to see this level of intellect. But let's continue to listen in to Urban. What's he go on through?
Challenge in special teams is personnel, making sure you always have the right people on the field. We always do checks on Friday and Saturday morning. How do you think something like Michigan State having 12 guys in the field could happen?
Well, KOR and kickoff return and kickoff, it's dead ball, it stops. So you should never have an issue. Okay. It's the plays, it's punt block, it's punt, it's field goal block. Those are the plays are continuous. So you got to really rehearse that. So here's a scenario at Michigan State. It's 10-7. There's a couple of real critical points here. The obvious is the scoreboard. And there's 11 seconds. That's right in that number where you can still have a play left. But there's a lot of things that can happen. You can lose the game. Here's the key. 0 timeouts. There's no timeouts left. Do you take one more shot? Now here's the scenario. If there's a sack, if there's a penalty, just an offense lineman holds or a penalty, you're out of field goal range. This is one of the most difficult scenarios for a head coach. We call it game management, that you have to rehearse in your mind. Do you trust your quarterback? Do you trust your offense? Do you trust your kicker? Those all go into the conversations. And someone might be telling Mark D'Antonio, take one more shot.
Right.
In his mind saying, let's kick the field goal, get to overtime.
And to make it more complicated, they had missed 2 field goals.
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, and we've been there. What's going through his mind right now is what's the best thing for the team. So it looks like they're getting on the field a little bit late. You can see the right side of the line. And the kicker was 0 for 2. He hits this. I remember watching this live, and then you see a penalty flag come out. Michigan
12.
State has 12 people on the field.
And the drama continues. The very next play.
So 6 seconds left, fourth quarter, no timeouts. This is it. Here's a difference. Now it's a 47-yard field goal instead of a 42-yard field goal. That is, once again, right in that area. That's a big difference for a kicker. The opportunity to make is significantly percentage points down once you move back in that 47, 48, 49, 50-yard area, and he misses the kick. Actually, not even close.
Right.
Now you go to the end zone copy, and this is unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
The rule is this, that if you're stationary in the line of scrimmage, you can come across and try to block it. But you can't come from depth and try to launch yourself, because once again, safety reasons.
Right.
People, you remember the old days, people used to launch
Absolutely.
themselves and land on their head and all that.
Right.
So it's really the correct ruling. And watch number 15. That's you can't do that.
Right.
That's not a hard one. And this should have been, and
They
they
should have
came out
flagged,
on Sunday and
Should
said
have
that
been.
this was should have been a 15-yard penalty, half the distance to the goal, line up and do it again.
Well, the nature of that conversational piece was about, you should have on KOR 11 guys. It should be substituted in, and it must be something that's game planned, and you shouldn't have those mistakes. And he was breaking down the philosophy of 42-yard field goal kick opposed to a 47 and beyond. It's always different measures, especially when your kicker is not hitting the kicks. So what I'm trying to get to and allude to is that we have to have a different level of thinking. Football is a game of inches, and everybody know that when you can win just that battle, that small battle, even whether it's in the trenches or whether it be special teams or whether it be, understanding the philosophy of the offense and understanding and knowing the philosophy of the defense and running and hitting home with those type of things, it all goes down to 1 or 2 plays in a national football game. That's just what it goes to. I really appreciate you all for tuning in to this quick special. There will be several other videos similar to this throughout the day. I really appreciate you all. Don't forget to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend, neighbor, foe know where to go. And let me know whether or not you all would like some more of these, analysis by Urban and other coaches and beyond. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the Bass. Salute.